Hello, my name is Oleg Volk. I am a creative director and advertising photographer based in Nashville, Tennessee. I came to the United States in 1989 from the Soviet Union and have been a big fan of this country ever since. Much of my work in the commercial side of firearm advertising stems from my work for previous 10 years in the business of promoting the right to keep and bear arms and individual self-determination. After 10 years of producing posters, articles, websites, forums that argue for individual gun ownership, I branched out into working with manufacturers of firearms and ammunition, optics, people who provide training, and so now I combine two careers, that of a political activist and that of an advertiser and creative director.
What companies and media do you contribute and in what role?
I work as a creative director for quite a number of companies. Largest of them is Keltec, but I have in total about 130 clients, for some of whom I provide graphics, photography, writing. For others, I provide complete ad campaigns and creative direction. I also write for Harris Publications, for Small Arms Review, for NRA Publications, for All Outdoor, and several other print and web publishers. I also write for foreign publications in Italy, Canada, Russia, Germany, and my posters have been translated in about 20 languages at this point.
Do you see yourself more as a photographer, as a journalist, as an advertiser?
I work in several roles at once. I work as a creative director, I work as a writer, I work as a political advocate. All of those roles are necessary, and being able to switch between them makes my life more interesting. I don't like routine. I like being able to wear different hats all at the same time, and that keeps me interested. Also, by being able to combine commercial and non-commercial work, I derive the benefits of efficiency. I'm able to produce multiple projects at once on the same set.
Do you think that the gun industry fully understands the importance of the web?
Some companies have. For example, Ruger Firearms does a terrific job. Not all companies understand the internet, but those who do embrace it and benefit from being able to spread the word worldwide and to have technical and doctoral information available to provide training materials and customer service. So the internet has been a great boon to gun companies. It gave them a voice where the public can hear it, and it's been a terrific PR tool as well as an advertising tool.
Can you explain the concept of Pro-RKBA?
RKBA is abbreviation standing for Right to Keep and Bear Arms, a clause in the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights. And the right to keep and bear arms for individuals is one of the cornerstones of American political life. By having a population that is armed and capable of defending itself, it provides an incentive for government to play nice and to solve problems in a political manner, to negotiate and to come to a consensus, as opposed to force decisions the way governments in certain other countries have done it.
Where do you take the inspiration for your RKBA pictures?
Growing up in the Soviet Union and seeing what it is like for a population that is incapable of standing up for itself convinced me that knowing how to use weapons and having access to them is very important. Coming to the US at the time when gun control was accelerating really gave me a cause for worry, and I felt that it was necessary for somebody to change the public opinion towards appreciation of the right to bear arms for civilians and not just for government agencies.
What are your favorite guns?
My favorite firearms are generally bullpups. For example, IWI and Kel-Tec produce 5.56 caliber rifles that are very balanced and easy to run, and those I prefer for defense. For recreation, I usually use bolt-action 22s fitted with sound suppressors, such as rifles made by Mossberg or CZU. For pistols, I have a very eclectic taste. Depending on the day, I may carry a M1911 or an HKP7 or a Boulder XR9 or something else entirely, such as a Glock. I don't have a strong preference in pistols. In shotguns, it is usually designs that follow rifle type of controls and magazines. For example, Weber 12 or Fostech Origin 12, both of which are similar to AK or AR layout. That way, I have the commonality of training with the guns that I'm already familiar with.
Tell us about your models.
My models are either my friends or people who become my friends eventually. They're either already trained on firearms or receive training before they model, so that they are working the skills they have rather than trying to pretend to be competent. And it helps to have a reputation for being somebody who is easy to work with, because I have a large number of referrals from friends and from clients, and I use regular people, not professional models most of the time.
What photographers or artists were mostly of inspiration for you?
I follow many talented photographers. Of the historic examples, Robert Mapplethorpe is probably my favorite photographer for lighting, and Gertrude Caspier for working with models. But the number of people who are talented and whose work I follow counts in the dozens. It would be difficult to list them all.
Is there anything specific you want to say?
The right to individual self-determination in all ways is enabled by many skills, one of which is the capability for self-defense. Anybody who objects to an individual being able to protect herself is probably an enemy. For example, if I invited you, the viewer, for a coffee, and I specified very deliberately, you should come unarmed, what would you think about it? Even if you do not normally carry weapons, if I specify that I want you disarmed, what would you wonder about my motivations? When governments or non-governmental organizations want a population in general disarmed, you have to wonder, what is the next step for them? What would they do once we are defenseless? So it is difficult to reestablish a culture of lawful self-defense and sports shooting after it's been eradicated in a country. So it is easier to retain what we have than to build it fresh after a generation has lapsed.
Is there any suggestion for a young gun rider?
Write something that has not been written by others. Pick an angle or a topic or a theme that you have not seen covered and write about it. Even if you live in a country that does not have very ready access to weapons, you can write something that either other people around you or people in other countries would want to know. Try to come up with something that has not been done before you.